Britain and the other 15 countries which have the Queen as their head of state are to change their laws of succession. The ban on a monarch marrying a Roman Catholic will go, and so will the rule that sons take precedence over daughters when succeeding to the throne. The decision was made by the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Perth. David Cameron said the historic rules were at odds with the modern countries that we have become. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell sent this report from Perth.
In the 1200-year history of the British monarchy, daughters have always had to give way to sons. If Princess Elizabeth had had a younger brother, the throne would have been his and not hers. But now, after nearly 60 years of one of the most successful reigns in British history, Queen Elizabeth is championing rights for women. She urged Commonwealth leaders to be bold in their reforms and to follow the principle of equality.
It encourages us to find ways to allow girls and women to play their full part.
This is what has made the matter a pressing one, the marriage of Prince William and Catherine Middleton. But changes like these require the agreement of the 15 other countries, the realms, in which the British monarch is also head of state. They met this afternoon, and David Cameron then announced that agreement had been reached for historic changes.
I'm very pleased to say that we've reached a unanimous agreement on 2 changes to the rules of succession. First, we will end the male primogeniture rule so that in future the order of succession should be determined simply by the order of birth.
The other change is the lifting of the ban on the heir to the throne marrying a Roman Catholic. But it's the potential impact on William and Kate that is most significant.
Put simply, if the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were to have a little girl, that girl would one day be our Queen.
One important thing, the changes won't be retrospective, so Princess Anne won't suddenly move up the line of succession. And one historical footnote, if there'd always been gender equality, we'd probably never have had King Henry VIII. He had an elder sister. But for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and all their heirs and successors, gender will no longer be an issue. The changes are expected to be made in the next Parliament.
Well, let's speak to Nick right now. And Nick, give us a sense of how historic this is.
It is historic. I mean, I think we use that word perhaps too frequently, but on this occasion it is an appropriate word to use. As I was saying there, Louise, in the 1,000-plus-year history of the monarchy in Britain, men have always taken precedence over women. Now, the course of the British monarchy would have been very different if there had been this gender equality. It isn't just that we would probably in England never have had Henry VIII, we would probably never have had King Edward VII either. So it would have been different as we look to the past, and it will be different as we look to the future, because clearly there will be more queens in the future course of the British monarchy. We do have to wait, of course, for all 16 of the realms to put this legislation through. It is complex, and up to now, all of these countries have been reluctant to tinker with the legislation around the monarchy for fear of opening up a can of worms. But now there is this consensus. It will go through. It will be laid before the British Parliament, which is likely to be the first to consider it in the next Parliament. So the changes, the consensus is there, the changes should be made.
Nicholas Witchell in Perth. Thank you.